Hello, everybody, and welcome to this section of the training. In this section, I'll be taking us around on how to create a beautiful design using the Pixel Lab app that I already introduced to us. This is the app, and I'll be clicking on it right away. I'll just click on it because I had it already installed on my phone. It's supposed to load in less than a minute. Okay, it's up. You allow it. Let's take a tour around this app first before we begin to design. If you look down here, we have the default, the theme, keep calm, 3D, and all that till the end. All these classic designs that you could use to do anything. And then if you look up here, there's this plus icon, the save, the share, and every other thing. So I will just go right away to make a design. First of all, I'll be making this as an assignment, as a task rather. I would create a very simple design and ask everybody to introduce his or herself to this app doing the same thing. So what do? We click on the A icon down here, that's the text. You click on it and then you click on edit. What you're editing is the original text, that the text that is already here. So what I'll do is to type my name is freedom, go on. Go on. Okay. Okay. Oh, this app has a lot of features. Yes, the the text that we've typed here can be changed. First of all, we can copy it and make it two if we want. Of course, we all know what delete means, so we can copy it and make it two if we want. So we can delete the other one. That's the function of the delete. We can also, when it's two, you can bring one to the front and the other to the back, front and to the back. Okay, you will not see it's active now because the two are the same color, so it becomes hard for you to understand the one in front and the one at the back. So I'll delete one, we'll get there. Then the next thing is the position. You can position it to the side, you can bring it down, you can bring it here, and you can bring it up, right? And when you're done with your positioning, click on the arrow here to mark it, and then you're good to go. And the relative position puts it there in the center. That's where alignment comes in now. Puts it there in the center, the right, the left, the middle, down, and up. Yes, and when you're done positioning it, please make sure you click on this icon here. Good, and we're good to go. Now the size of the text can also be determined from here. As long as you have your text type, you can increase and decrease the size. You can make it as small as this, and you can make it as big as this. Okay, we're getting there. So I'll just for now leave it at 60. Okay, let me make it 60. Make it 60 now. Oh, okay, 65 is fine. Let's make it 65. Yeah, and then padding. What padding does is that it increases the edges. It's make your text a kind of stand out. They will get there, but once you're done, you click here. Now there is the color. The color of the text changes when you apply any of those colors. Yes, when you apply any of those colors, it changes. Now there's color and there's gradient. I just clicked on gradient. Of course, we all know what it means. Yes, true color. You will use this. Anyone you feel like using is allowed on Pixel Lab. Now once you're done, please remember to click on the mark icon here, and then it is marked. There's texture. What texture does is that it brings an image and places it at the background of the text. Are we together now? Now, let me explain this. Once you click on texture, this comes up. You click on the photo icon here, and then you can pick an image from your phone. I would rather go to downloads and pick an image from there. I would okay, I think there's no image here, so I'll just go directly to the image and okay, I'll use any of these images. Okay, greetings. For the purpose of this training, I'll be using this image, so I'll just crop it, and possibly I'll be clicking on this mark icon here too to install the image on the background. Yes, we see this. That is how it works. Now you have to get it enabled, and you can increase and decrease it from here depending on what you really want. So I think this is already giving us a design based on what we discussed yesterday. So now we move, right? We move to opacity. Opacity determines how rigid, how clear your image or text is. So once I click on opacity, I could fade this image gradually until it disappears, or I make it very thick. We see what's happening. That's opacity. You might need it in some instances. So, but once you're done, please make sure you click on the mark icon here, and you're good. The next thing is rotate. That word is self-explanatory, so I'll just be playing around with this for us to understand what it means. Yes, you're rotating your text, and you can also do it for an image if you have an image here. So my name is Gone Freedom is rotating, so I'll just bring it back to where it was. Let me just make it like this. Right, okay. I'll click on the mark icon too, and I'm good. Then we have the mask. What the mask does is that it shades the object. Okay, I'm going to do something now so we understand what it does. Make sure it's enabled, please, and then okay. It has covered that, just like your nose mask covers your face, your mouth, your nose. It covers a particular part of the image or the text. Okay, you can undo from up here. These are the undo icon, so I'll be undoing it. Okay, I've undone it. All right, we have the font. Pixellab is such that has so much fonts, as you can see on my screen. There are just so many, and you can decide to use any of those fonts. They are all free, although they are paid versions. But on this particular app that I shared to you, every font is free. Yes, every font is free. So you could use the fancy ones. Okay, let's use this. My name is Freedom Gone. Yes. Let's see. Yes, this is it. I think this is fine. Okay, so there is also this style. You can make it bold. You can italize it. You can underline your text, and you can remove the underline from the text, right? And what it does at the long run is that it gives your text or your image a kind of unique look. Whatever you want to do here, please, when you're done, make sure you click on this button here. Now we have the curves. The curves, like it sounds, like the name sounds, helps you to curve a particular image. Let's assume you're working on a logo that has to go around a box. This is very important. Very important. All right, so you just do what you have to do, and you see it work. You take it to the top, you are curving it. You bring it down, you're making it curving it this other way. So I'll undo, and we move. And there is the background. The background colors the background of the image. See what just happened? The image background is colored. Now you can decide which color to use: white, red, any colors around here, and then you can use the gradient too if you so wish. You can use the gradient if you so wish. I'll undo too because we do not so need it now. Now the next thing that we are going to be looking at is align. Remember yesterday I talked about alignment as one of the principles to getting an awesome and great design. So first of all, I told you yesterday that we have three basic kinds of alignment, right? The first is to the left, the second is to the middle, and the other is to the right. So before you do anything here, please make sure that you are sure of where you want your alignments to be. You can't have my name on the right, ease at the middle, freedom at the left. No, it doesn't make any sense. So aligning your text to a particular place makes your design stand out. What you can see here, I have a center alignment, right? I can align it to the left, I can align it to the right. Okay, I think left looks better and finer. Okay, I would align it to the left for the purpose of this training. Now pick. And there is spacing. There are two kinds of spacing here, as you can see. There is the spacing of letters and the spacing of words. The letter is active by default. So if I push this to the right, the letters are being spaced out. Can you see that? But when I go to words and I push it by the right, the words are being pushed out. You can see name is moving on its own, leaving my behind. Is on its own. Now is moving and leaving name behind. That's the words moving. But when I go to the letters are moving simultaneously. Are we together? So that is spacing in Pixel Lab. There's also what we call strokes. Strokes is like an outline. Once you enable it, you discover that there are lines outside your text or your image. Now you can decide the color of your stroke. You can decide to make it red. You can decide to make it any color of your choice. Actually, you can make it any of those colors, and you'll get an awesome design. Okay, let's make it blue because I like blue. You can decide the size too. You can decide the width. I'll just leave it here. Okay. Now there is also shadow. Shadow, once it's enabled, it gives your text a shadow behind. Can I just tell you that you can also determine the color of your shadow, of the shadow behind your text? It comes black by default because shadow is always black, but you can decide to make it white, you can decide to make it red, you can decide to make it any of those colors. Right, we're together. You can decide to make it any of those colors. Any of those colors. Yes, and you can increase it too. You can increase the radius. You can decrease the opacity of your shadow. You can add what we call outer glow. This is called outer glow. You can increase, you can shift it to the side, you can move it to the up and down. You just play around and get your desired design. So I'll be undoing it, disabling it rather, so that we move. Please, whatever you do here, make sure you click on the right button here so that your design can be activated. Now the inner shadow, just like the name implies, it gives the shadow from the inside, as you can see, and you can decide to make it white and any color you so desire. The same thing we have on the other shadow. So I'll be disabling it and I'll click on this. Now we have the emboss. Emboss helps you to, okay, this is what it does. It gives gives light to your text or object. As you can see, you just play around here and just get your desired design. You can include strokes if you want. Whatever you do here, please and please make sure you click on this. Now there's a perspective. Sometimes this is where designers get it all wrong. The perspective is used to make your design kind of stand out. I'll be using the perspective now to, okay, this is what it does. This is what it does. You might see some kind of design like this, and they tell you it's 3D. Do you get? And you're wondering, how did it come into existence? How? Now, may I tell you that even if this is a picture, you are getting it right by doing what I'm doing. If this was to be a picture and it's supposed to be placed on a wall in your design, so when you're done, you just click on the right this thing and then you place it where it's supposed to be. All right. I'm going to be undoing it. We'll come back to that in a subsequent design, and you can use the 3D rotate. The 3D rotate helps you to turn your text as you wish. It helps you to turn your text as you wish. It helps you to turn your text. It helps you to turn your text. So I'll be turning it like this and a bit like this. Yes, I would. Yes. Okay. There are 3D texts. Yes, something like this. There's this perspective and the oblique. Whatever you do here, it's your responsibility. However you want to place it. Let's say I want mine to be like this, so I'll be leaving it like this. I can choose the color. I can decide to make the 3D text darken. I can decide to make it the same color, but here I'll leave it this way. I would also use either the gradients. I would use something like this. Oh no, I would make it like this. All right. This is the rotation. Once again, I would leave it here. The light angle is where your light comes from in the design. I decide to bring it here. The light now comes from here, as you can see on the design. But I like putting it on this side because this is where light comes from, actually, from the right hand at the top. So you just play around and until you get your desired design, you just play around. But whatever you do, make sure you click on the mark icon here, so that you can move ahead. Now there is the 3D shadow. The 3D shadow adds shadow to your text. It has 3D shadow to your text rather, and you can determine the color. But usually black shadow. It's usually black. Now the difference between this and the other shadow is that gives every text a shadow, every text a shadow, every word a shadow. But this gives the entire text or image a shadow under, a 3D shadow under. And then the last but not the least is called reflection. I'll undo this so that reflection can come into play as it's supposed to. Now this is reflection. Once you enable it, this is what happens. There is a reflection of your text or image under it. Now I'll reduce the size so that we can understand what I just explained. Now this is it. This is a reflection of what we have up here and what is down here. Okay, and if we assume that we are done with our design, the next thing we should do is to save. And how is that done? From the top here, after the plus, you click on the save icon. You can save it either as a project to come back and edit it, or save it as an image directly to your phone. While saving as an image, you just don't have to make any changes here. You save it directly to your gallery. And while saving as a project, you just have to type in the project name. I'll just say, for this I'll say my name, and I'll okay. of saving done. As you can see, I have saved my work.